What's going on, guys? Camden Hurst from King Clutch Designs, and I have a product review for you guys today for some kayak fishing. The product I'm testing out here is the Gatlin fishing rod holder for kayaks. Holds 4 rods. I'll just kind of show it to you first here before I talk about it. Comes with a flat mount also here if you don't like the 45. I personally prefer the 45 from what I've looked at so far, but I might throw this one on there and show you guys what it looks like. But anyways, I just want to get into some of the pros with this. So this is basically going to be replacing my milk crate down here, which is nice because what I've learned so far, this is a lot lighter than that milk crate. So I might end up putting a cooler back here instead of the milk crate since I don't have that anymore. So that won't really have a weight reduction then, but you know, I like to fill up the boat if I'm going to be out there all day. So the other really nice thing, I'll demonstrate this for you guys later, but if you ever spill your kayak, flip over, none of these rods are coming out. As you can see, they're secured here on both these plates by these latches. So it also eliminates the need for rod leashes. Some of you guys are really big on rod leashes. I'm not a big fan. They seem to kind of just get all tangled up, make a mess. So I like that a lot. I'm not going to need rod leashes all over my boat when I'm out there. So I did have to install a new track on there. If your kayak only has the tracks that are way up here, that won't be any good for this because you have to oar, and with that right there, you're gonna have no room to oar even with the flat mount. So I installed that. It was like a $8 little Scotty track mount, so not a big deal. Marine riveted it in and looks good, honestly. I kind of needed another track there anyways, so I keep my fish finder right here, so it couldn't have gone there anyways. But right now I got 3 rods on here. I went ahead and put a spinner on there too. At first I just had bait casters on, but put a spinner on there too so you guys can see. Can hold spinners also, but see, I already got it latched in there. So anyways, let me show you guys how the latches work. See, basically this is locking it into place here. So you just pull down just like that, and that's free. And take the whole thing out, you just got to pull down here and there you go. So I actually put that back for now. So what you might be thinking right now is, how are you going to get to this top one when you're out on the water? Well, the nice thing about this being on the track here, I got 2 washers, one on the top, one on the bottom, in between that screw holding it into place, so just turns perfectly around to you. So you know you're sitting right here, just reach up, right in front of you. A lot nicer than when you got them in the milk crate behind you and you gotta, I don't know about you guys, but I have a lot of back pain, and turning around like that starts hurting after doing it 5 or 6 times all day. So I like this a lot better. It spins right around to you. It's right in front of you. You know, you just grab them right off and you're good to go. Unlike standing up, turning around, taking them off the rod leashes. I think it saves a lot of time and it's more efficient, honestly. So one thing that I thought could be improved is the latches. I mean, they work fine. I'm not sure exactly what you'd put there instead, but I just feel like maybe they'd wear over time. Now, I haven't had this very long, but I guess if they did ever loosen up, all you got to do is tighten that nut. So that's the good thing about, you know, it's easy hardware to work with here. Alright, so this is only 2 pieces that you're seeing right here. Well, 2 main pieces and then a little bit of hardware. So let me go ahead and I'll take that down, and I'll flip this piece upside down and simulate if you were to flip your kayak, what's going to happen to those rods. Alright, so here's the bracket that they're all mounted on. There's the 45 that it's attached to. Alright, so let's simulate to flip your kayak. Now, I know I did that really fast, I don't know if you guys could tell, but these didn't budge a tiny bit. Now, even when you got them on that milk crate, say you flip with the milk crate, you got rod leashes on them, but they're still going to fall as far as that rod leash goes, and you're going to risk getting them tangled up under the water or something. Say you're out in the middle of the lake when you flip, they can get wrapped around a tree or something, you could still risk breaking them. With this, I'm not saying that there's no chance that they're going to break if you flip. Like say you're under or above some structure or something, you flip, it could break off a rod tip, but I honestly think that this is a lot safer for your rods, and it's a really small investment to save hundreds of dollars a gear. I mean, I hate to even say how much I have into just these rods and reels here. And these are my lower end ones, but so let me show you the hooks up here. These are the only 2 pieces of hardware you need. Just these 2 pieces of hardware, this mount, and the bracket. Alright, so I'm going to take those rods off and show you guys how to mount it real quick. Alright, so I forgot to mention, my plan was to actually take the kayak out, everything mounted on it and all that, out on the pond and simulate a real spill, so I was actually going to flip the kayak. But now that I got the product, I'm actually in the middle of winter right now here in Missouri, so right now it's like 25, 30 out, and my pond's been frozen for a while, so not going to be able to do that, obviously. So hopefully that's good enough, showing you guys, you know, flipping it over, shaking it, it's not budging, it's locked in there. So maybe later in the summer when I'm out fishing and everything, I'll make another video and show you guys a real spill with it, but I think that proves the point, you know, they're not going anywhere once they're locked in here. So I'm going to show you now how to mount it on here. So it's really simple actually. You got this tab here on the end, which is going to go where your locking pin goes, and then there's a screw sticking out up there, just sets in right there. Alright, so you got your mounting pin, just push that right on. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one with one hand here. Alright, you got this, a little lock nut, put on the end, and you just tighten that down real good. And there you go. So one thing I also wanted to mention, if you got tracks like these, I would be careful mounting that on it. It's putting a lot of weight, just like a lot of tension on those. When I first mounted mine on there before I had this track system, I did notice it was kind of wanting to bend a little bit, but that's also because I only got one rivet throughout this. So basically this track was just teetering on those rivets. If you got 2 on each side, it should be fine. Like there's no play with this track, so as you can see, I just need to tighten that down. That's why that's wiggling, but I had it loose so I could spin it real easy. So the track's not budging though, basically, with all this pressure on it. Yeah, there it is, no rods. That's what you're gonna get when you order this. And here's the flat track. So basically, I got a 10-foot kayak. The reason I don't like the flat track, when I put that on there, my rods were sticking out probably an extra 3 foot off the back of my kayak at least. Well, more than that. But a lot of people I know don't like 10-footers, so you probably got 12. I don't even know. You got a lot bigger kayak, so the flat one should actually work for you guys. Like that should be fine. They wouldn't be sticking off the back way more. And also, if you don't like your rods being up in the air, I personally like them up in there better than flat, but I know a lot of people will get broken rod tips and stuff. You know, you're going through trees, you're looking up in front of you, you got your rods in the back, so you're not thinking about them, and just snap a rod tip off on a tree. So if you've had that problem and you don't want it to happen again, flat mount might be your go. So I'm giving you guys the most honest review I can. The only downside really that I think was that it didn't fit my track system right away. But honestly, if you think about that, there's not many products out there that you can just buy and they're going to be universal to every kayak. There's a lot of different brands in the industry. I got just what most of you guys would consider a cheap Ascend 10T. So my track systems aren't the best, I'm aware, and luckily I had that one sitting around, mounted it, easy to set up, you know, easy to get mounted and everything, and it was fine. So that was really the only downside to this rod holder, I think. And this is a small business, so I mean, I talked to the guy on the phone. You know, he wanted me to be honest and say if there's anything that they could change, and they're open to change. You know, it's a small business. He's wanting to make his product the best and most suited for all the fishermen that are going to be using it. So if you guys are interested in this product, definitely go like their Facebook page. He doesn't just make kayak rod holders, he makes a lot of really nice boat ones, which I'm actually really looking forward to getting, because I don't like the idea of breaking my rods when they're sitting up at the bow of my boat. But definitely go check them out, guys. I believe this system runs $110, something like that. I'll link it all in the post, so you guys can go check that out. I really think that it's a great thing to add to your kayak, especially if you need a new rod holder. So I wouldn't go with the milk crate. I would definitely go with the Gatlin fishing rod holder. So thank you guys for watching, and again, be sure to check Gatlin Fishing out. They've been very generous, and I'm glad that I got to test out their products. So looking forward to using it this summer. Thank you guys.